Welcome back to Doing It with Briggs and another video. Today we're tackling the most important thing of making a video, your audio. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, counterintuitive. You'd think the video is the most important thing since you're making videos. No, it's going to be audio. Now, obviously, titles, thumbnail are probably the most important thing. But then when you have the actual creation of the video, you actually have the video itself, taking the video, and then you have the audio that goes into it. And then you have, of course, your storyline that you're going with or your information you're putting out there. All those things are very important. But above all of them, in the creation part, is going to be your audio because we all know we've watched a video and the audio sucked, turned off the video. Walk away from it because the audio blows. If you go back and look at some of my early videos, the audio was not good. I originally started off with it was called a Blue Snowball. The name of the company was Blue. I think they've been bought out by Logitech now. It was like a $50 mic at the time. The audio wasn't great, but it was all I could afford at the time. So that's what I got. I mean, I could have afforded more, but I don't like putting things on my credit card. So I had this one and it served me well for about a year. Then I realized I just needed to upgrade my audio. So I got the next step on their line, the Blue Yeti, and that was like $99. Those are still out there. It's owned by Logitech now. They're decent mics. I would get the Yeti long before I'd get the Snowball and start working with it. Now, regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing a faceless channel, if you're doing a travel channel, you need good audio, okay? Vlogging, you want good audio. Nobody wants to watch a video where the microphone sounds like you're talking through one of these. Remember these when you were a kid? Hello? Hello? That's what it sounds like on some videos I've watched. And I turn them off right away. Oh, getting a call. Hello? Oh, it's my sixth grade girlfriend. Yes, it has been a while. I can't believe you still have this number. I haven't seen your retainer in 35 years. Actually, closer to 40. No, my parents sold that house decades ago. I can't check my old room. I don't even think the house is there anymore. Look, I'm recording a video. I'll talk to you later. Call me on this number. My sixth grade girlfriend. Anyway, so if you're going to buy anything and upgrade your equipment, microphone comes first. Now, if you're using your cell phone, like I always say, use whatever you have. Use the best equipment you have. And for most of us, that's going to be the cell phone. It's in your hand right now. You're watching this video or it's sitting on your desk or in your pocket. It's ready to go whenever you are. Unless you bought a cell phone 20 years ago, whatever you have in your hand is going to get you started. But if you're going to upgrade, get a new mic, okay? So I've bought so many different microphones and different audio equipment things to get me to where I am right now. Like I say, audio is king. Watch any other creator, Roberto Blake, Daryl Eves, all those guys, they'll mention how important audio is to your videos. Trust me on that. Go out and try and find some videos where the audio just sucks. Matter of fact, go look at some of my early videos and you'll see how bad the audio was then compared to right now. Now, I always prided myself on it and I did what I could in the beginning. There are videos out there that were made this week that have audio that are much worse than mine was 7 years ago when I started this. So the first one you want to look at if you're looking to get a microphone that I bought was the Rode NTG5. Now, I got this one early on, and it was about $199. It just plugs right into whatever you have. You have a GoPro, you have a camera. If you have a iPhone or an Android, you got to get a little adapter, but this will plug right into it. Works pretty good. The downside is it's a pain. It's kind of big, and if you're using a GoPro, it sometimes sticks out, so you can see this little knob up at the top of the screen, and that's the tip of this thing. So, I mean, it's not the best, but it's pretty good for $199. I wouldn't buy it again compared to what they have nowadays. I mean, I'm sure they've done upgrades to those, but this was the next step up. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro, and it goes for about $299. This has excellent audio. I can't complain about the audio for what it was, $299. It's really good audio. And like I said, plug into anything you want. You just might need some adapters if you got an iPhone or an Android. Now, downside about this one. you have to turn on the power. A lot of mics these days get the power from the device, and it's easy to forget this. I've spent a whole day filming before on a couple occasions and forgot to turn on the power. That is the biggest flaw for this. I wish something would warn me that, it's not on other than a light, but it is what it is. So this one screwed me a couple times, but it is good audio. They also have these smaller ones, the Rode VideoMic ME. Other companies make this same thing. I'm sure they get it from the same Chinese manufacturer and they just slap their name on it. But they go for anywhere between $59 and $79. The Rode one is $79, and I bought some cheaper ones before for like $59, and they work just as good as the Rode one did. I didn't notice much of a difference. So here's a picture of that right now. See, it's just a little smaller one. You put a little wind muff on there. By the way, that little furry thing, when you see those on mics, it's called a dead cat. Yeah, that's what they call it. But get one of these. It's a good upgrade, especially if you're filming yourself, you're vlogging, whatever. Just make sure if you're outdoors, you have a little wind thing on it, okay? Great. Now, let's get into my desktop setup and things you could do for your desktop, okay? And if you're sitting in an office like me recording a lot of things, you want to upgrade your system, okay? Now, you could go with the Blue Yeti, and that's a great option if you're somewhat on a budget. But if you want to upgrade your game, you usually got to get a mic that comes with an XLR cable, but I have one that I use for travel that is really good. Here it is. It even has this vintage look to it, right? Pretty cool. You just set it on a desk in front of you, down below about your chest, and it sounds pretty good. I've had no complaints over this. The only complaint I have is I've put it in my carry-on luggage before, going on planes, and they always pull me into secondary. So now I take it out and I open it up so they could see it right away, okay? If I leave it in the luggage, sometimes they tell you only take out the laptops and tablets. Well, if I've left this in my carry-on, it looks weird to them, and they'll put you in secondary. So make sure you take this out of your luggage. This is a great mic, and it just plugs into your computer or whatever you're editing on. You can plug into your iPad if you need to, right? So there's no extra power cables, nothing like that. Just plugs in, away you go. It's called the Shure MV51, and it goes for about $299. I think this is the best one for the money, okay? You're going to get a desktop one and you don't want to spend $600-700. This, in my opinion, is your best bet. Weighs a ton too. It's like real metal on this thing. That's not plastic. Now, if you're looking at XLR microphones, that's when they got these little 3 dots and it's got a big plug that goes in there. These can get expensive. This is probably the workhorse that most people use in podcasts and things like that because it is very forgiving. It's easy to set up. You don't have to really tweak it too much. You plug it in and it starts working. It works for everyone, okay? It's almost like if you're in a race car that's automatic or you're filming automatic with your, camera. You don't have to set a bunch of settings. You just plug it in and away you go. And that's why it's so popular in the audio world, especially for podcasts, things like that. Now, this is the Shure SM7B, and it goes for about $400, $399 on Amazon right now. So it's not that bad. I used it for years. Eventually, I didn't like the sound on it anymore. I wanted to have a more classic sound. So that's when I reached out to what you're listening to on here and you hear in my other room. It's a company called TZ Audio. I think they're in California. And this is the X2. Now, this plugs into a Procaster, a Rode Procaster, and then goes into my computer. Here's a Procaster right now. This runs the audio through there. I've got all kinds of little controls on there I can adjust and get it all set just the way I like it. And then it goes into the computer and runs through the software. It's a little more advanced. This normally goes for about $500. The controller, the Rodecaster, goes for about $500. So the setup is about $1,000. I have a little bit of a better system that probably goes for about $1,500 upstairs in my main office. But this one is pretty good, even though I don't have the acoustics set here in the bunker yet. Eventually, I'll get to that. Great microphone. I really like them. Now, the one that is overall the best for anyone on a budget, and that is the DJI Mic Mini, okay? So it comes in this box, and it's really simple. You could use it, which I've done some videos where I just have it connected right here in the studio, and then when I'm out traveling, this is what I use. I used to use the Mic 2, which was a little bit bigger. That one works a little bit better, but this one is nice because it's compact and it's unnoticeable. But you could plug this thing, which is like the control hub, into any phone, GoPro, whatever you have. It plugs into that, and then so that's plugged into your phone. Boom. This little thing connects. It's got a little magnet that comes with it. You put the magnet under your shirt, put it like in between your pecs or your breasts, unless you have really big ones and it might get muffled in there, move it up a little bit. And I say that because I know a girl that actually, she was recording on it and it was all muffled because it was between them. Anyway, so this is a really great system. I've done many of videos just using this. I like these. They go for about $169 right now. This is what I would suggest if you've got $200 or less to spend. It's probably your best bet, and you'll get a lot of work out of this. So that's what I think are your best options for audio, and audio is so important. I cannot stress that enough. Boom. All right, everyone, that was great. I got to get back to my 6th grade girlfriend. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.